Hello everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit about the introduction to measurements in the laboratory and go through making some of these measurements. So we'll start with part A, the measurement of regular geometric shapes. So we'll have a rectangle and a circle. There is no need to indicate a shape sheet code ID for this recording. Let's go ahead and look at the objects we'll be measuring. So we have the rectangle at the top, the circle at the bottom, and the circle we'll be measuring the outside diameter of. I wanted to also say a few things about the measuring device we'll be using. So we have a ruler here that we'll be using. So you'll notice that we're indicating units of millimeters. Millimeters would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. When we do this measurement today, I would like you to use units of centimeters. We will still be using this same scale, but what you'll do instead is you'll have centimeters, you'll have 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, etc. And then the little marks in between would be tenths of a centimeter. So 1.1 up to this longer one is 1.5, and then all the way up to 2.0. We will also be guessing the last digit of the measurement. So on this scale, we have a mark for, say, 1.1, 1.2. So that is not the last digit you'll be guessing. You would be guessing a digit after that. So as we go through and make these measurements, make sure that you are using units of centimeters and that you are guessing the last digit. So the next thing we'll do is get this in place in order to make the measurements. So this is our first measurement. This is the length of the rectangle. So make sure you're writing down the measurement there. Again, make sure that you're guessing your last digit. This is our next measurement. This is the width of the rectangle. Again, please remember to guess the last digit. And here we have the measure for the diameter of the circle. The camera is adjusting a little bit, so we'll just wait on that to come into focus. Remember that we are here using the outside diameter. Also, again, as always, please remember to guess the last digit. I want to talk now about Part B, measuring the mass of solids. For this recording, we will not discuss Table 1, the mass using a triple beam balance. So we will skip over Table 1, and we'll talk about Table 2, weighing by difference. So we will measure the mass of an empty beaker, and then we will have the mass of that same beaker plus we're going to add something to it. We're going to actually, instead of using sugar today, we will be using sand, but you'll be making the measurement for mass for each of these. So let's talk about the balance first of all. So here we're showing the balance, and the balance has a lid. I'm going to open the lid, and you'll notice there is some white paper there. The reason for that, I'm going to go and take it off. We normally don't have that, but because of the shiny metal, I put this on here to decrease the glare when we make the measurement, so it will be easier to see the display. So what we can do is we can incorporate the mass of that piece of paper into just the background of the balance itself. We do that by pressing the 0 button, so I'm going to press that. And this will give us a 0 reading, and that 0 includes everything from the balance plate to that piece of paper. So anything we put on here will be the measurement that we're making. So let's go ahead and take the beaker and put this on. I will say that we don't normally have this piece of paper on when we would do this in the lab. It could lead to some errors if we're not careful. But for today, what we're doing, it should be fine, and it will make it easier for you to see what we're measuring. So put the beaker on the balance, and you see the mass there on the display. That will be what you would write for the mass of the beaker. And then we'll take that off, and as I mentioned, we're going to add some sand to this instead of the sugar. So there's a little bit of sand, and you know what, it looks like we are a little bit off now, so I'm going to re-zero that. I can tell you what probably happened there. I was probably too close to the balance when I did that, and some of the sand dust might have interfered with the measurement. So let me go ahead and put this back on. So that is the mass of the sand plus the beaker. So you'll write that down for that second part.